Hey everyone, hello. So, tonight's video is not about celebrity drama, chart positions, or viral moments. It's about mortality. This month, which is January 2026, Ray J, singer, entrepreneur, reality TV figure, and media mogul, revealed that he had been hospitalized in Las Vegas with severe pneumonia and heart complications. And after his discharge, he went live and said something that really stopped a lot of people cold in their tracks. He said, "My heart only beating like 25%. He went on to describe moments where his heart was still dropping and the doctors had to bring in a crash cart. This wasn't vague, it wasn't metaphorical. It was a man describing a medical emergency that nearly ended his life. So, today we're breaking down what Ray J said, what it medically means, why it's so serious, and what recovery actually looks like, especially for someone who's lived a high stress, high exposure life. According to Ray J's own account during the live stream following his hospital discharge in late January 2026, doctors told him that his heart was functioning at roughly 25% capacity. He described a severe case of pneumonia and heart complications. Again, a moment serious enough to have the medical staff bring in a crash cart. And a crash cart is not symbolic. It's used when a patient is at risk of cardiac arrest or life-threatening rhythm failure. Ray J confirmed that he was entering a cardiac rehabilitation phase, signaling that doctors considered the damage significant enough to require long-term intervention, not just rest and antibiotics. When Ray J said his heart was working at 25%, he's referring to something called an ejection fraction, or EF. Ejection fraction measures how much blood the left ventricle pumps out with each heartbeat. So there's a scale. I'll break it down for you. 50 to 70% is normal heart function. 40 to 69% is mild dysfunction. And then 30 to 39% is moderate heart failure. And below 30 is severe, life-threatening impairment. An EF of 25% means that the heart is struggling to circulate enough blood to meet the body's needs. This level of dysfunction can cause shortness of breath, extreme fatigue, fluid buildup in lungs or legs, dangerous heart rhythms, and increased risk of sudden cardiac arrest. This is not something people can just walk off. One of the most overlooked aspects of this story is the pneumonia. Severe pneumonia starves the body of oxygen, placing extreme stress on the heart. Can trigger inflammation of heart tissue and can worsen underlying heart vulnerabilities. And Ray J had already survived a near-fatal pneumonia episode in 2021, meaning his lungs and cardiovascular system may have already been compromised. Repeated severe respiratory infections can leave lasting damage, especially when combined with high stress, sleep deprivation, and substance use. Touring and nonstop work schedules. In other words, this didn't come out of nowhere. Ray J is only 44 years old, and that's part of why this story really shook people. He represents a generation that grew up watching him, from early R&B fame to reality television to tech entrepreneurship. For many fans, this was a reminder that wealth doesn't make you immune and fame doesn't protect your organs. The body keeps score. And when someone says, "My heart is not okay," it lands differently when it's literal. Ray J has been clear about two things. His heart is not okay, and he believes recovery is possible. He even publicly committed to quit alcohol, avoid drugs, change his diet, and participate in cardiac rehab. And that matters because low ejection fraction can improve depending on the cause. Recovery often involves medication like beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, and diuretics, strict lifestyle changes, stress reduction, supervised exercise, and continuous cardiac monitoring. And some patients regain significant function. Others stabilize without fully recovering. Some require implanted devices or long-term treatments. There really are no shortcuts. Heart failure isn't just physical. Patients often experience anxiety, depression, fear of sleep, identity shifts, and a sense of vulnerability they've never known. For public figures, especially men in entertainment, there's an added layer: the pressure to appear strong, unbothered, and unstoppable. Ray J asking for prayers wasn't weakness, it was honesty. This story also highlights a larger issue. Cardiovascular disease doesn't always announce itself quietly. Sometimes it comes wrapped in something else, like pneumonia. And by the time symptoms appear, damage may already be severe. Ray J's openness may actually help to save lives by encouraging people to take respiratory infections seriously, normalize cardiac screening, challenging the idea that I'll deal with it later. Later isn't always guaranteed. When Ray J said his heart was only functioning at 25%, he wasn't exaggerating for clicks. That number represents real risk, real fear, and real consequences. But it also represents a crossroads. With treatment, discipline, and time, recovery is possible, but it requires humility, patience, and consistency. This isn't about sympathy, it's about awareness. And if there's one takeaway from this story, it's this: your body will whisper before it screams. Listen early, because the heart doesn't negotiate. So yeah, that's it for today's video. As always, I hope you found it entertaining, enlightening, or in some way beneficial. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend or two. Alright everyone, take care. Peace.